Hey, it's Zach Attacks Live. First edition ever. My first time doing this new show. I'm super excited to get into all the topics today. It's going to be a big show. We have a lot of topics to talk about, and some that just came out like 10 minutes ago. I had to add into the title because I could not believe it. Last minute, but I have it pulled up. So to break down how Zach Attacks News Live works, I'm gonna usually have 2 to 3 topics I'm gonna break down, talk about, talk to the chat if there's anyone in the live stream, and then go on to the next topic. I'm going to break down the box office and all the narratives that's going on around the movies. Because box office is pretty important to understand why movies get sequels and why some movies that you think are great don't. So we'll break that down week to week. And then at the end, we're going to talk about the movies that are coming out, what you are looking forward to. Because right now, the movie business is in shambles. We have the strikes, we have streaming, we have people not going to the theaters, thinking that they could just wait for streaming and not realizing the more you wait for streaming, the more we'll get less quality films and we'll get more streaming quality films, which will, hurt the movie business overall. So that's kind of my goal here for people to understand, to inform, to have fun and entertain just a bit. And we have some great topics to talk about today. I just want to see. I have a comment in here from yesterday when I had the stream up just to be, to look at it. So we got Tank Kramer of the Spoiler Kings. Thank you for dropping this comment in real early, my friend. It said, "What Variety lies? All the half truths that they told about Jonathan Majors for months now. I'm super over Variety," and that's pretty bad because Variety is one of the major trades. When I look for news, they're one of the ones I see if a rumor is really true. And I think that them coming up with these half truths of Jonathan Majors and being so biased does hurt. And this article kind of supports that a little bit. I'm going to go over the facts, I'm going to go over the rumors, and I'm going to go over my personal opinion on each subject. 80 kids from the 90s. Hey, what's up, man? Thank you for joining the live stream. I hope you're having a good day. Hey, Dave Show, my guy who just went full time on YouTube. Thank you for joining the live stream, man. We about to attack it, baby. Hey, my boy Pert Minded, what's up, man? I'm super excited. Our next Sunday, we're gonna be talking about Attack on Titan on your channel. Spoiler live stream. That's gonna be real fun. I have so many thoughts, but this is the hardest working man on YouTube. You know what I mean? Well, not me, him. If I hear the word shambles one more time, I'm just telling you, man. It is. It's hurting right now. The movie industry is so hurting. It really is. It's hurting a lot. When I go over the box office, I'm going to talk about it a little bit as well. What is going on with the movie industry and what's going on with general audience viewers? There's a lot of conversations I'm having, and I'm understanding why people are not going, and I understand why people with money aren't going as well. Streaming is what Netflix old format used to be. Movies and older shows you could stream. That's what it should have been. And then they tried to up the ante and create all this original content, which some of my favorite stuff is from original content, but it has hurt the movie industry and regular television. Hey, the guy himself, the OG supporter, my guy, who I'm going to be watching the Marvels with this Friday. Clay, what's up, man? Thank you for joining the stream. I know have to be up late and everything. So started MI2. I'm about done with it. That's exciting. I'm excited to hear your thoughts. So the way this stream is going to work, which is different from mine, this is going to be weekly. I'm going to be doing this now every Tuesday. Is that I'm going to go over the topics. We'll talk about it together on the topic. And then if you have any questions as outside the topics that we're talking about, save them for at the end. I'm going to have like a 10, maybe 15 minutes just to talk about anything, like a little Q&A section at the end, because I don't do enough Q&A. So that's what I'm going to do. So I want to jump into my first topic. I have it loaded up here, and this is right in my title, MCU versus Variety, but specifically I want to talk about what they said about Nia Dacosta and the whole Marvel situation. So I'm going to bring up that article now. I'll short myself. Let me know if you guys can see it, but this is straight from Variety. This is a long, thoughtful article that's talking about all the turmoil that supposedly is happening inside of the MCU. A lot of it has a lot of fact mixed in with a lot of rumors and stuff like that people are latching on to. People are more latching on to the rumors than the actual facts that's spread in here, and you have to read through it to see what's what. But one thing I wanted to point it out, because I think this article is going to be very important as the year passes on, is the Marvel situation, the things that they said about the actual Marvel's movie that's coming out and the director. So Right here, started here. It said the Marvel machine was pumping out a lot of content, which is a fact. It's very true. Compared to what they were doing before, they were pumping out way more content than before. It did get to a point where there's too much. I personally don't believe so. So that's an opinion, not a fact. I think I was fine with it. A show every 4 to 5 months is not that bad. We get NCIS shows every single week. So I don't think that of a 6 episode series every 4 or 5 months is that much, but some people do. Um, it says they were burning people out on superheroes. Heroes. Were they burning people out on superheroes? It's possible. It says the more you do, the tougher it is to maintain quality. That is very, very true. Quality control may have been an issue for a lot of people for the MCU shows and movies, especially with the movies. When it comes to like Thor: Love and Thunder, Quantumania. Personal opinion, I think the quality control could have been a little tighter on those films, so they could have been home runs. They tried experimenting with breaking in some new characters like Shang-Chi, a movie that I thought was great, and Eternals, another movie I thought was really great, but mixed results. That's very true. Shang-Chi was a hit. It did really well at the box office. It did well, like in terms of reviews, but it didn't gross a billion, which everybody thinks every Marvel movie has to do, which I don't think it does. But the Eternals, which to me is actually a better movie than Shang-Chi. To me, it's not as fun as Shang-Chi, but I really like what it had to say. Was a total bomb, and it didn't do well with reviews in terms of the critics and audience. So, and the budgets are really big. That's what they're talking about. So this is what the part here that's really interesting. When you start talking about the Marvels, there's been a lot of negative attention on this so far. It says the Marvels, which opened in theaters on November 10th, will struggle to get the ball past the infield, at least by Marvel outside standards. The movie, which cost $250 million, which is going to be a conversation we're going to have in the future about inflated budgets. And they talk about this in the article, why the budgets are inflated in terms of poor pre-production planning. Pre-production is the most important part of having a film not be so bloated in terms of its budget and planning it out so it can come smooth, and then you having room to experiment with your budget. And Marvel has not been doing that because Bob Chapek wanted things to come out faster. And the pandemic hurt him a little bit as well. Sees Brie Larson reprising her role as Captain Marvel. Is tracking to open to $75 to $80 million, which is a lot lower than normal Marvel films, and it's far below the $185 million that Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness took in domestically in his debut weekend. I feel like that's an unfair comparison because Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness had all the cameos and all the things that you could possibly want in a superhero film for fans to geek out, and it almost made $1 billion because of that. And I think if the movie was consistently tonally and just people understood what was like they were going into, I think that it would have made up more money, honestly. But I think the fact that people thought it was going to be this wild ride where we're going to jump through universes, multiverse of madness, I think that it hurt it just a bit. That's an opinion. Here we go. It says directed by Nia Dacosta, a director I'm really excited about. I think her Candyman movie that she did was really, really good and a really strong debut for somebody to do for a studio film. The Marvels unite Larson's heroine with two superpower allies, Tiana Paris, who I'm a fan of, Monica Rambeau, introduced in WandaVision, Ahmad Vellani, who I think is one of the best castings that we've had in the MCU in a long time, as Kamala Khan, as Miss Marvel. But instead of seamlessly building on the success of Captain Marvel, this movie resulted in 4 weeks of reshoots to bring coherence to a tangled storyline. See, this here is we don't have any factual, like, where did this come from? You know, where did the factual part come from of the 4 weeks of reshoots? Where did the factual information come saying that the storyline was tangled? And I guess I get what they're doing with the tangled part because that's the storyline for the characters being tangled and switching places. It's really clever by this writer. But we don't know if this is fact. This is just hearsay. They didn't say sources. They didn't say their source gave them this. This is just what they're just giving this information. So we have to take this very, very lightly. Then eyebrows were raised again when Dacosta began to working on another film while the Marvels was still in post-production. The filmmaker moved to London early this year to begin production prepping for her Tessa Thompson drama Hedda. A representative for Dacosta declined to comment. I really want to highlight this because something I'm going to talk about coming up way this is phrased and the way the drama is put, something I'm going to show you guys today that came out today is really going to put a spotlight on the wording of this. If you're directing a $250 million movie, it's kind of weird for the director to leave with few months to go. Says a source familiar with the production. Source. Who knows who that is? The Marvel has been set to release. The Marvel has its release date moved back twice. Once swapped with places Quantumania, which was deemed further along, and again when its debut shifted from July to November to give the filmmakers more time to tinker. But the extra time didn't necessarily help. In June, Marvel, which traditionally only solicits feedback from Disney employees and their friends and families, took the uncharacteristic step of holding a public test screening in Texas. This audience gave it middling reviews, right? And then they go on to talk about, them adding the 6 Avengers back and things like that. You can go in the article and see all the different things and try to mix in what is fact or fiction. I want to get into the comments real quick and see what you guys are saying about this particular. If you're not talking about this particular subject, I'll hold it off later. I'll star it because I just want to, be able to get through this. And also I'm going to be clipping these conversations up into separate videos. So let's see. What do you guys have to say? The Marvels actually looks marvelous. Like the wordplay, it does. I think it looks really strong. From the first teaser trailer, I thought this movie looked strong. I wasn't one of those people who felt like it didn't look that good or anything like that. I always thought that it looked really well, and I liked how fun it looked. I like how different it looked. So I definitely agree. This is, all my opinion. I'm really excited to check out the movie. Let's see. GM Light, thank you for joining the live stream. I've been a ride or die Marvel fan, but these shows have been what made me lose interest in the overall story. It seems like they're hopefully listening through echo and actually looks great in my opinion. That's a fair opinion, man. I understand if you don't like most of the shows. For me personally, the only shows that felt kind of mediocre was Hawkeye, and Secret Invasion was awful. But other than that, I've had a lot of fun with a lot of these MCU shows. I am on the side of, I think that phase 4 is one of the better phases in the MCU. But I understand that some people don't care for it. There are problems. I don't think everything is perfect, but it's better than people are giving it. My boy Kenny Sparks, we in this. I can't say that right now. Okay, and I'll answer this question real quick when I'm going to bring up a video that ties into what I'm talking about. Do you think they'll pull off bringing back Cap and Tony in an earned way? I'm worried about them rushing in or panicking. Honestly, I don't think that part of the article is the way they are phrasing it. I don't think it's what we think it is. I always think the plan was to bring back Tony and Cap, but I think that Steve, because Anthony Mackie's character, Sam Wilson, is Cap now, but bring back Steve and Iron Man back. But I think that this particular notion from the article is being blown out of proportion and not framed right. I don't think this is some reset button. I always thought that these characters would come back from Secret Wars, all 6, but as different versions of themselves. We get that pop. It heightens the multiverse. We might get some storylines connected to it, and that's it. But I want to play a video for you guys that I found. This is a great interview by a guy named his channel name is Jake's Takes. I put the link to the video in the description of this video. Definitely check out the full interview because he did a really great job of asking questions to Nia Dacosta that I thought were really great and really made her answer some really cool questions without spoiling it. But I wanted to particularly talk about a specific piece of this interview that counteracts what and he acts and pay attention to what he says specifically about the whole her leaving the production. This is the first thing that's counteracting the Variety article, which makes me feel like it's more of a hit piece than factual. So here we go.
The next 6 months. I hope this next question comes out with the positivity that it is intended, because I'm such a fan of your work. A lot has been made of the fact that you went into production on another film when the Marvels was in post-production. But 30 years ago, Steven Spielberg went into production on Schindler's List when Jurassic Park was in post-production, and people applauded him for it. I'm just sort of curious, like,
before she answers, you hear that, right? Steven Spielberg, one of the greatest of all time, did the same exact thing that she did, but and got praised, but she's getting a lot of crap for it. Really dwell on that and why that's happening.
Like, what is the difference between what he did 30 years ago that everyone still goes nuts about and what you did? I honestly, I don't see the difference.
It's interesting. I mean, I think there's just a lot of energy and criticism around Marvel anyway, so I'm not surprised. But for me personally, it was literally just that they moved the date of the film 4 different times. And so instead of it being a 2-year process, which I was deeply committed to, it became a 3.5-year process. So every time the date moved, and they knew the entire time that I had an obligation, a greenlit movie with people who are waiting for me. And I pushed that, and I pushed it again, and then I pushed it again. And then eventually we all knew, like, okay, if this pushes again, I'm not going to be able to be in LA to do the rest of this in person. So we just figured out a way to like do it remote. We figured out the best process. And actually at the time that I left to go to London to start prep on my next film, everyone was so clear about what the film was, what we wanted. Everyone knew what I wanted. So it really wasn't the dramatic sort of thing that I think people are feeling like it is. So yeah.
Well, I feel like anyone who, granted.
So, guys, I just want you guys to understand, when these articles come out by these respected publications, usually stuff like this is posted by Discussing Film and these Twitter online discussing people that posted a bunch of rumors and things, clickbaity things, to get you to listen, especially if you're already in the mind state of it. I went through the article and I couldn't believe it, but I really sat back and processed it. And first of all, the article already told of something that was fictional. It said that it was only pushed twice, but in where she said it was pushed 4 times because of different things going on with COVID, with and the pandemic, with other reshoots, with the reshuffling of the schedule and things that were happening. And she just proved that what the sources that they're getting this from are not exactly already correct. And she talked about how she was still involved with the post-production. What I think the way they worded it, especially with the eyebrow raise and all the wording, they made it sound like she left the production to do something else because she was frustrated and she's done with it and she didn't be there anymore, and she just left it alone. And she was there remotely. And she continues to say on in the video, she talked about how, like, by the time she left, the movie was finished in terms of, like, they knew exactly what it was supposed to look like, what was supposed to happen. This post-production. So this is cleaning up messes, fixing up VFX and CGI, doing voiceover work and different things like that. So they weren't like the movie wasn't done and she just left. She left to London because she had an obligation, and she continued to work on this film remotely, just like Steven Spielberg did from Jurassic Park to Schindler's List. I'm not saying the Marvels is going to be like Jurassic Park, but the fact that they are coming at it in that way and people stuck on it and like trying to come at Nia Dacosta was raising an eyebrow to me. So the fact here is, and I'm going to take it from the director's word of mouth and not Variety with their sources, is the fact that she continued to work on the film. She was deeply involved in the film. It moved a couple of times. Every director has obligations. She is a new director that's going to keep trying to get jobs and make films. And she had to hop off. And it's not the first time. We've seen many other directors do so. Some of the greatest of all time work on multiple films at the same time, especially if it's far along in production. So my opinion on the situation, I think the Variety article has truths in it. It has a lot of truths in it, but they have a lot of hit piece points in it that they knew people would latch onto, and it clicks and cause conversation, and a lot of people want to talk about. And I think what's happening here and why this is happening to Marvel is because, one, the companies or the franchises that usually mess up and people like to attack are quiet. Star Wars, Ahsoka, whatever what you say, the show overall is a success. I think the people who are fans of that universe, the Filoni universe, really like the show despite it having issues, and it has charted on the Nielsen charts high. And in a couple of weeks I'll start talking about streaming on this show too, but I got to get things in order. This show will evolve as I go. And so Star Wars is quiet. There's no movie announcements. There's nothing that's going crazy with the Star Wars. The DCU is done, right? The DCU has one more film to come out, and that's Aquaman. The trailer will actually look good, where it had most people having a positive response going, this looks great, this looks good, or some people are curious. So they can't attack the DCU, especially now that James Gunn has been quiet. They can't attack the DCU. Something that didn't even start yet because James Gunn finally hopped off Twitter and stopped responding to everything. So we can't attack the DC universe like we do every 4 months or every month anymore. So, and then the monsterverse is completely, quiet as well. So they have to attack the big boy. And I think that this is what it is. It's a hit piece on Marvel to generate clicks because things are pretty quiet. The actor strike is hurting a lot of news, and this is what they have to do. And I think as time passes, a lot of things that's in this article is going to be proven to be half truths as things keep happening. Things about Jonathan Majors being recasted or them going away from Jonathan Majors. That's a very Warner Brothers early on not having a head of Marvel decision, or I should say DC decision of just changing like that, right? I don't think that's what Kevin Feige and the team is doing. I think that now that Bob Chapek is gone and Bob Iger is there, he was there with Kevin Feige the whole time while the MCU was like this. I think they're going to put things. If you're watching this afterwards, drop them in the comments below. I will respond to you afterwards. Let's see. Zach Attack Reviews. Are you on Discord? Yes, I am. I am on Discord. You can find me. I will talk. Find me on the good old X/Twitter, and I'll let you know what my Discord is because I think my name is like different on each channel I'm on. Maybe the MCU getting reboot is for the best. I do not like that idea at all. I'm not gonna lie, Dave. I don't think the MCU needs to get rebooted. I just think that now that Kevin Feige probably has more control like he used to have before, he could kind of put focus the way it needs to be put focus. That's all we need to do. We don't need to do reboots. We don't need to restart. We just need to get back to basics. I feel you. I really enjoyed WandaVision and Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then I fell off a little bit. Okay. That's fair. Let me see if there's any Kenny agreeing with the great Nia Dacosta. Can't have women on the screen. I know Clay, he always says that. And that, I think that's part of it too. I think that female directors get held to a different standard than male directors. I think that might be a part of it as well. They pushed her screens 3 to 4 times. She got her other contracts to fulfill. Exactly. I feel like the truth is somewhere in the middle. Nia seems a little frustrated with some of the MCU creative process, but the story was definitely blown out of proportion. Yep. She definitely has said things about being frustrated about the process. She made some comments a couple weeks ago, but overall, I think any process of making a movie is going to have some frustration, especially when you're making a studio movie where you're not in full control. Hey, Spoiler Kings, what up, man? Thank you for joining me. This is probably Tank. Variety sucks ass. The way Hollywood is trying to sabotage Captain Marvel and Brie Larson is humorous to me. Yeah. She said one thing that I thought was made sense and positive, and they've just taken the time to come at her. What Dacosta did is a fairly normal thing. Exactly. Nia won me over when she said she has a reference to Final Fantasy Advent Child in the movie. She's a total nerd. I'm so excited for her. I hope this movie does decently well. It's a big budget. I hope that it hits 100 million, maybe 90 million instead of 70 or 50, because that's where it's tracking. We'll talk about it later in the box office tracking, but I'm rooting for her to win. What's up, Zach M? Thank you, man. This is the guy, him and the Spoiler Kings. They inspired me to start this show. So thank you for being in here. I appreciate that you're proud of me, man. Zach Maline cameo in the chats. Hey, man, how you doing? Okay, so hey, thank you everybody for watching this section of this before we go to the next part. Thank you for watching it. If you're watching this afterwards and this is cut out, drop all your comments down below and let me know what you think about the Variety article, what they said about Nia Dacosta, what Nia Dacosta's response was, and all the other interviews that she's done. I think you guys should go check out all her interviews. They've been really, really interesting, especially Jake Takes. I had to go subscribe to this dude because he does a really good job. So yeah, check all those things down below. All the links I have in my description, and comment and subscribe and like the video. And we're going to move on to the next subject. And the next subject is going to be about another Marvel thing. And that is going to be Echo. If you guys have seen my channel and let me actually, so you guys actually see my channel and saw like the video that's pinned is my reaction to the Echo trailer. Before the Echo trailer came out, a lot of people thought this show was going to cancel. They thought that they were going to shelve it. They thought they were going to throw it into the deep depths of Hulu and no one was ever going to find it. And I think that a lot of people thought this thing was just going to be total garbage. One trailer later, and everyone's super, well, not everyone. There's some people that says that it doesn't look that great, of course, but most people have been very, very excited about this. And I reacted to the trailer. Go check it out on my channel. You can see my full reaction and what I had to say to MCU haters specifically. But there's a new excitement here. I think the combination of Loki being really great to also this trailer really being strong is made some excitement for Marvel and completely overshadowed this Variety article. I know I just brought it up and talked about it and things like that, but I think that this completely overshadowed the Variety article coming out just a couple days after. No one's really focusing on the turmoil of the MCU because how great Echo looks. What I want to specifically talk about now about Echo is not really the trailer, it's some of the news that's come out after it and my mixed feelings on it. So let's start with the facts. Variety, which is funny. No, this is not Variety. This is Entertainment Weekly, but Variety also had this on them. I didn't want to go to them because after they did a hit piece, they also want to talk about how great this is. But Marvel unveils new spotlight banner for standalone MCU projects like Echo. So, interested in the new trailer for Marvel's Echo, but haven't been keeping up with the latest output from Marvel Cinematic Universe. Marvel doesn't want you to worry. Over the weekend, the studio screened the first 2 episodes of the upcoming miniseries for the Choctaw Nation, which is a Native American nation because Echo's a Native American superhero / villain. They're saying that she's a villain in here, but I think she's going to become a hero eventually. And also unveiled a new banner for projects like this one, Marvel Spotlight. That name should have some resonance for comic readers. Marvel Spotlight was an anthology series that began in 1971 and explored less traditional superhero characters. It's where Werewolf by Night, Ghost Rider first made their debuts, among others. And we just recently got Werewolf by Night in a holiday special. So really think about that. That was the first test, and it went decently well. Now that the title will serve to highlight MCU projects like Echo that don't require an extensive knowledge of ongoing continuity, Marvel Spotlight gives us a platform to bring more grounded, character-driven stories to the screen in the case of Echo. Focus on the street-level stakes over larger MCU continuity. Just like the comics, fans didn't need to read the Avengers or Fantastic Four to enjoy a Ghost Rider Spotlight comic, or audience doesn't need to have seen other Marvel series to understand what's happening in Maya's story. Echo does have roots in Marvel's past projects, though. And this is where my mixed feelings for this being the first one. The show stars Alqua, I'm not sure if I'm saying her name correctly, Cox, as the deaf warrior Maya Lopez, who first appeared in Hawkeye. So there is a little bit of homework you have to do to fully understand where this character comes from. They even use scenes from Hawkeye in the trailer for Echo. So I think it's a weird juxtaposition with what they're saying here, but we'll continue to talk about. Echo also features the return of Wilson Fisk, aka Kingpin, a character that was also in Hawkeye that you kind of have to understand. He even has the hole in his face in the trailer for where she shot him at the end of Hawkeye. But if it's also tied into the Marvel Netflix series, if they tie all that in, there's a lot of history you're missing. And also there's a little cameo from Daredevil. If you maybe, if you didn't see No Way Home, who didn't see No Way Home? But he wasn't Daredevil in No Way Home. And you didn't see She-Hulk, and you didn't watch the Daredevil show, which a lot of people didn't do, you're not going to know who Daredevil is. So are they going to explain all these characters' origin stories again in this, just for the casuals to not have to do homework? That's the question. The creators of Echo were therefore more interested in connecting her story with the protagonist's Choctaw heritage than increasingly convoluted MCU continuity. It's so exciting to be able to premiere Echo and extremely meaningful to myself to have this screening Choctaw Nation, the director said. One of the things, I'm probably saying that incorrectly, I apologize. One of the things we're most excited about is being able to portray the Choctaw culture, hopefully in an authentic and exciting way. Okay, and that's the new poster for the which actually looks pretty good. So what I gotta say about this is that I have mixed feelings. I think the idea of the Marvel spotlight sounds great, but I also think it's a waste of time, in my opinion, because this is stuff that people killed. And I had this conversation with one of my friends, Kal-El Daily, and usually in the chat, sometimes he might pop up a little later, but how they killed DC about this, having separate types of shows and titles, and that's not in continuity and mixed and things like that of characters, and how everything needs to be together, and it's too many different versions of characters and yada yada yada. And now Marvel's going to start doing something similar, and it bothers me because if you look at Guardians Volume 3, that easily could have been a Marvel spotlight, right? Because it doesn't have anything to do really with the rest of the Marvel continuity. It doesn't affect the greater multiverse story. It doesn't really cameo any characters. Doesn't really cameo any characters from the MCU like that. So why is that not Marvel spotlight? And then, Werewolf by Night, Moon Knight, for example, another show that didn't really connect to anything. But people still didn't really watch these shows. Guardians is already a big brand, so they were going to watch that. But things like Moon Knight, Werewolf by Night, these original characters that they introduced already that you didn't have to watch anything before to understand, people didn't jump towards it. And just because you put a label on it, I don't know if the general audience, because that's who we have to win. The comic book audience is going to win and watch. But as we can see on the streaming charts, it's not just enough of us to get it to number one and for them to compete with HBO and Netflix and these bigger streaming services. So I have mixed feelings. I think maybe if it's developed more and they find a way to really showcase why this matters, I think that this could be really interesting. But I do find it interesting that they're attempting to do that. We have the special presentations with the shorts, with Werewolf by Night and the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special, which are shorter, contained stories that you don't really have to watch a bunch of different things with and understand. Guardians maybe a little bit, because if you didn't see Endgame, which, like, why didn't you see Endgame? You're like, wait, why are they here now if the last thing I watched was Guardians Volume 2? But at the most part, we have those contained things. They haven't been super hits per se, but I like that the MCU is taking risks, but I just hate that we were killing DC for doing these things, and now we're praising Marvel for it. So I want to know what you guys think. Are you excited about this Marvel Spotlight showcase? How do you feel about Echo being the first character to be under it, even though it has attachments to other projects? And if you didn't watch those other projects, you're going to be missing the full context of relationships. Let me know what you guys think in the live chat and also in the comments down below if you're watching this afterwards. Let's see what you guys got to say. So everybody's talking. I love the live chat, just talking to each other. They love each other. I appreciate you guys. And dark room reviews. Thank you for joining the live stream. Make sure to hit that like button. Yes, make sure you hit that like button and share the video with people, man. The more you share it, the more you retweet it, the more you do all that and share it with people, the bigger this gets and our community gets bigger and we have more fun and we have a chance to do more cool things. I'm excited about Echo after the trailer. A lot of people are, man. I think that the trailer did a really good job of bringing back a grittiness. It's not exactly like the Netflix shows. I feel like it's a little bit more cleaner than the Netflix Marvel shows were. And it feels like it's a good in between where it feels grittier almost to that level, but not as gritty to it. So I find it interesting. But maybe it might be as gritty once we get to the actual show. Dude, I want to see Echo, but Disney Plus is so expensive. That is a very good point. But Hulu, I don't know what you're in America. Hulu will have Echo, which is a first. We've never seen a Disney Plus show debut on Hulu at the same time as going to be on Disney Plus. And I think this is partly because Disney just bought Hulu full out. So I think we're going to start seeing a lot more crossover. Eventually, Hulu will fuse with Disney Plus, which I have mixed feelings on, but I think that's a big thing. So if you don't have Disney Plus, it's too expensive, not enough content you want to watch, which a lot of people feel. I share it with people, so that's why I still pay for it. Hulu will have it. Hulu's a great service. I just wish they get Kingpin out of that white suit. That's his classic suit, man. The white is his classic black shirt, white suit. That is his classic suit for the comics. We got to have it for a little while, Loki season 2 is awesome. Yeah, man. Yeah, Spoiler Kings, Dave Show, Echo will be on Hulu if you have that service. Candy at the Movies, what's up, man? This guy just dropped a review for Priscilla, which was really good. So go check it out. One day everyone says Marvel is done. Echo trailer release and Marvel Spotlight announced. Marvel is back. Ha ha ha. Yeah. I saw a very funny meme about how it was like Quantumania, Thor Love and Thunder, Secret Invasion, and I think She-Hulk. And it was like Marvel is done. But then it was like Multiverse of Madness, No Way Home, Echo, and like Loki. It's like Marvel's back. And it's like a cycle of them doing it. And then people are just so reactionary. Everybody's just so reactionary, man. What's up? Hey, Dello Movies. Thank you for joining the live stream. If they're going to call it a standalone, then it would be better if to give us a character who hasn't appeared in the MCU at all. Exactly. That they give us characters who hasn't appeared in the MCU, give it like an experiment. If it fails, then it's like, okay, whatever. This character doesn't connect to anything. But for a character that was set up somewhere else, it's really weird for them to start the brand on them. This should have been something like Wonder Man or something else, something that wasn't connected, even Ironheart maybe, but that doesn't even work because Ironheart was in Black Panther. So a brand new character. My personal opinion is I don't care if it ties in, just make it good and people will find it and watch it. I don't know. There's a lot of great television out that people do not find and get canceled. So that's not necessarily the truth, Andor is a great show, but not a lot of people watch that show. They had to put it on Hulu and then put it on ABC and for people to gotta check it out for it to get nominations, but still a lot of people never watched Andor, This trailer may end up being manipulative, but if the show actually delivers on this tone and vibe as well as great story, it could end up being the best MCU show. That is very true. I have all the excitement in the world for this, but this trailer could definitely be manipulative. We could have saw all the best parts of the show right there, even though it's only 5 episodes. It's dropping, so I can't imagine they mess it up, but it's possible. They messed up Secret Invasion, so it's very, very possible. I like the idea of Marvel Spotlight and a lot in concept. Hopefully, it will allow more creative freedom for the writers. Who's a character who you would see them using the banner for? That's interesting. There's a lot of weird characters. Apologize about that. There's a lot of weird characters that are street level that may be too similar to other characters that I think that they could use. Let me see. I think it all depends on who they want to use and not use. I think that we're getting a villain character in one of these, and I think that would be interesting if we got more villains in this. We could do more villain characters. That would be really, really dope. I think maybe some X-Men characters could be involved, and we get a little bit of their backstory and play around with that. I think that there's some sidekicks that could get developed through this, and then we tie them in later. There's some Spider-Man characters we could do here. I think Elektra, I think Iron Fist would be really great to have like a standalone story with a decent budget. We can get into Punishers, perfect for that, for it to be TVMA. I think that would be perfect for that as well. There's a lot of different characters that they could do this with. I'm trying to think of someone that's super, super obscure, but I can't think of it right now. Bucky. I think Bucky, even though he's not super obscure, I know he's been tied into a bunch of things, but I would love a backstory for this character where they just delve into it and it doesn't tie to anything. It's just literally a story, just so we can, if you're a fan of Bucky, you can watch it and then you just get that, but they don't really have to tie it into anything. You don't have to, it's not homework. I'm with you, but unfortunately, Marvel has a rep of tying everything in so some people will skip things, assuming they have a bunch of history and to enjoy. Exactly. I think just saying Marvel Spotlight is not going to help casuals understand what's going on. Okay, so I think people are starting to talk about other things. So I'm going to uh, talk about, like, hey guys, if you've been watching this live, thank you so much. If you're watching this afterwards, drop your comments down below. Let me know what you feel about Marvel Spotlight, how you felt with the Echo trailer, how you felt about Echo's trailer kind of like overshadowing this Variety article, and how you like about the changes going to Echo, her not being a copycat of other people's skills and being tied into her Native American heritage, and this being a story that you don't really have to do homework for. Drop all those comments down below. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Now that we've done that, let's get to what the rest of the comments have to say, and then we'll get to the next topic. Let's see. Toxic Gamer, thank you for joining the live stream, my friend. Hello, Zach. How's your day been? It's been pretty good. I've been pretty anxious. I've been looking forward to this live stream and talking to you guys about all this all day, that I was like, I don't want to be at work right now. I'm on cruise control right now, guys. I need to get out of here so I can get on my live stream. It was cool in the comics, but he looks silly. No. Kang? That's interesting. We could get different Kangs, but that still ties into everything. Quantumanium was awesome, and everyone knows it. I don't hate Quantumania, but I can't say it's awesome. I'm sorry. I can't. I'm with Zach M. How many times have we seen a trailer for an MCU TV show only for it to not deliver what was teased? Trailers by themselves won't sell me on a show. I am intrigued by Echo. This is a great point, Cosmic Broadcast. I'll say that because the Secret Invasion trailers were really good. I was so excited to get like a Winter Soldier tone show with action, maybe close to that level, but with Nick Fury, one of the greatest MCU Marvel characters of all time. And that is not what we got. Those trailers was not what we got. I enjoyed She-Hulk only because I feel like it was meant to piss off hardcore fanboys. I enjoyed She-Hulk because I just thought it was fun and funny and different. And I want Marvel to do different things. And I'm fine with that. I was not pissed off about it. I'm a hardcore comic fan and not as hardcore comic as I used to be, but I know things about the comics, and I'm a hardcore MCU fan. Are you going to be seeing the next Gold Win, Zach? I was able to see it early, and I thought it was streamable. I was a little disappointed, too, because I thought I was going to see the Marvels or Ballads. So I got to say this, just to tip all you guys off. When you're going to see these unseen, like the Regal Mystery or the AMC Unseen, whatever it's called, do not expect a tentpole film to be there. Whether it's MCU, Y comic, Star Wars, do not expect those to be, because those already have hype. These movies that they put in here are for movies that maybe don't have enough advertisement or anything like that. So it was never going to be the Marvels, unfortunately. I know that you think it might be because it's like, oh, the Marvels is not tracking too high, but they're still not going to do that for fans, because I think critics are seeing it tonight, and we're about to get the first reactions. So that's going to be really interesting. But yeah, don't expect that from one of those. I'm sorry that you're disappointed for that. But yeah, I was excited for next Gold Wins, but all the reviews that I'm seeing now has made me feel like I might have to wait for streaming like I did for Dumb Money and a bunch of other films that I was really, really excited for. It's just hard. From April to about, we're in November now, to September, I was seeing 2 to 3 movies every single week. 2 in the theater, 1 on streaming. And it's just hard to keep that up and give quality content, live a quality life. So I've slowed down just a bit. Mephisto or Silver Surfer would be great in Marvel Spotlight projects. I think Silver Surfer would be off limits only because I think that they're going to want to use that for Fantastic Four. But if it's a thing where these characters can be tied in eventually, I wouldn't mind that at all. I think Silver Surfer is a fantastic character. Like 5 years ago, even more recent, he had some really great runs for his comics that they can explore in a 8-episode, 5-episode, 6-episode series. So I think that would be exciting. Mephisto, I'm hearing, is going to be in Ironheart and is going to be bigger later on. So I don't think they're going to give that character some Marvel spotlight because it's probably going to be tied in. Could Marvel Spotlight be their way of continuing the Netflix show universes? That's interesting because they specifically said street level grounded heroes that's not connected to things. So that is a big point, Zach, and that you brought there. That I think that's a huge possibility. I think that they could bring in Punisher, they could bring in Jessica Jones, they could bring in Iron Fist, and maybe even just rework that show for the MCU level. And well, I don't know, a Daredevil. It looks like Daredevil is gonna be tied in to the MCU. He's already in No Way Home. He was in She-Hulk. I think he's going to be involved and being a major character in the MCU. But those other characters could be under the spotlight, and then maybe they even bring back one of my favorite Marvel shows, Agents of Shield. I think that would be great. Do you play Fortnite or Fall Guys? I've played both. Played Fall Guys more, but not that much. They're not really for me. Hey, L, thank you for joining the live stream. Appreciate you. Let's see. Cool Beans, Dave Shaw. I'm live streaming Fortnite tomorrow. That's why I was asking. Oh, nice. When you share it to your community tab, I'll check it out. Why not? I love Taika, and Super Sad Next Goal Ones isn't getting any love. Yeah, our boy, part of the movie tours, Kenny Sparks, he went to go see it. I think it was today. I think he went to go see it, and he said it was not a good movie. He wasn't even finished with the film, and he was like, "This is not good." And I haven't really heard. I've heard some people say it was good, and say that the critics are wrong. So it might, other people might like it, but so far, the audience members I'm seeing are saying it's not good, which is not great for me. When critics say something's not good, I'm still like skeptical because there's a lot of things that critics say is not good, but I end up liking anyway. So, but what audience members do that, like, oof. 100%. I thought Next Goal Wins was decent, just not amazing, and it didn't blow me away. Yeah, I was hoping for it to be part of the lineup of great comedies that we've had in 2023. We've had amazing lineup of comedies that have come out, and I haven't got to see all the comedies. At the end of the year, I'm gonna do like the best comedies of the year, best action movies, best horror movies. So I'm really excited because the comedy one has some real good competition. But yeah, let's move on to the next topic, and this is one that I had to add last minute because it came out of nowhere. I was like, what is happening? So if you saw the title of my video change, is because this came out of nowhere. I was like, what is happening? How is this happening? And this is the Legend of Zelda. Marvel's Nintendo and Sony are teaming up to make a live action Legend of Zelda movie. Not animated, live action. We're getting a live action Legend of Zelda film. I am super excited. Legend of Zelda is one of my favorite franchises. It's one of the greatest games of all time. I think it has potential to be $1 billion franchise if done correctly because the lore and the charm of it is so great. But I'm also a little worried because I thought it was going to be animated just like the Mario movie, but this is going to be live action. This is coming from IGN, who broke the news just maybe, I don't even know, like an hour ago. I just saw this come out. It says Nintendo's finally making a live action Legend of Zelda movie after years of hopes and months of rumors. The news was shared today in an official post to Nintendo's investors. So that's how you know it's real. They're giving it to investors. This is to get their stock market up. This is to get the people to invest to the company and do different things because the Mario movie was huge. With new details, the film is being produced by Nintendo Shigeru Miyamoto and Avi Arad, chairman of Arad Productions, former founder and CEO of Marvel Studios. That's huge. Arad has been credited as a producer for numerous successful films over the years, most recently including Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, No Way Home, Far From Home, Homecoming. That gives me a little worried because those are easy home runs, Spider-Man. But he's also working on Kraven the Hunter and the Borderlands movie, which is very, very interesting. But Dave Show just said something really interesting. He said, live action. Oh, no. He said, what the F? So Nintendo and Sony teaming up. Yeah, that's huge. I wasn't even thinking about that. The fact that Nintendo and Sony are teaming up to make this is like a multiverse. What are we talking about here? The Maze Runner director, Wes Ball, is set to direct, and Sony Pictures Entertainment will handle theatrical distribution in addition to co-financing the movie with Nintendo. This is so weird. Though the press release indicates that development is just beginning in a tweet/X post. I really hate that they changed it from tweet to post. It's so stupid. Post sounds so dumb. Tweet/X post today, Miyoda indicated that the project has been in the works for some time now, for many years. Live-action Zelda movie is finally a reality. Early this year, rumors abound that a live-action Zelda movie was in the works, but the word on the Hyrule Street was that Universal was involved, or perhaps Illumination, which is under Universal. And obviously, since they did the Mario movie, it did $1 billion. We thought Universal would get another catch at it, but no, it's Sony. The rumors were fueled by Tears of Kingdom developers themselves, who expressed that they were interested in making a Zelda movie after the success of the Super Mario movie early this year. However, Eiji Onoma said at this time, it's not just me being interested in something that makes things happen, unfortunately. A Netflix series was reportedly canceled after leaking on the internet. I've asked Avi's son to produce this film with me, and we now have officially started development of the film with Nintendo itself heavily involved in production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope to look forward to seeing it. Unlike the Mario movie, the Zelda is live action, meaning casting characters such as Link, Zelda, Ganon, and others will take an entirely new dimension. The Super Mario Bros. Movies while Relevancy did undergo pre-release criticism over the decision to cast Chris Pratt as Mario. A Zelda film would presumably be held up to a similar fan scrutiny, even if Link remains a silent protagonist as in the games. That is a big point that they just brought up. That is coming from IGN. It's an official post. We are getting a live action Zelda movie.
He's so fluffy, I'm gonna die.
That is how I'm feeling right now. That's how excited I am. It's so good. It's so yummy. It's so fluffy. I feel like I want to die. This is going to be absolutely exciting and amazing. It looks like video game movies are going to be the new comic book movies and TV shows, because we've getting a lot of good to great stuff. I see someone talking about Gran Turismo. Shockingly great film. One of my favorite movies of the year. So good. I heard that Twisted Metal was really good. I have not gotten to check it out yet, but I heard it was entertaining. Obviously, The Last of Us was huge, and they officially have rumored to say that 2 more seasons are coming, which I think is a smart idea to break up that second game into 2 seasons. I think that's genius. And we have other things down the pipeline that's coming. We're getting God of War. We're getting Horizon's Zero Dawn show, 2 of them. And Horizon's my favorite franchise. Super excited about that. But Legend of Zelda, to me, other than Mario, has the potential to be the biggest out of all these. Has the namesake, has the lore, it has the different stories to tell. This can be an anthology movie where each time at the end, Zelda resets. Link resets. Now the questions here is that the fact that it's not animated and it's live action. That's the only thing I really worry about, because casting. Whoever the cast as Link, I feel sorry for. I feel sorry for it. It's going to go under so much scrutiny if he doesn't look like an elven boy. It's not gonna work that well for him in terms of fan outlash. But if the person is a great actor and can pull off silent protagonists, kind of like how Henry Cavill pulled off Geralt, only a little bit of talking, because it has to talk eventually. It can't be fully silent like Mario talked and it was fine. This can work really well. The thing is that goes on with this movie, and this is a question for you guys, is the tone. What tone are we getting? Is this going to be Game of Thrones? Because a lot of people think that that's what should happen. It should be a Game of Thrones level kind of film. Is it going to be more Lord of the Rings? I think that would be very interesting. I think the Lord of the Rings tone would be very apt. I'm not sure if we can get that from Wes Ball, because what he's done before is not to that level. But I'm never going to hold a director down by what they did before, because we've seen directors go from one thing and the next thing, like, whoa, how did they even make this? You never know what's in their wheelhouse. But guys, what do you think of the tone? What do you think of this news? What do you think about Nintendo and Sony teaming up? Let's check the live chat and see what you guys have to say about this exciting news. Once again, this just blows my mind. It's so funny. What the WTF, Nintendo and Sony teaming up? That is insane. Spoiler Kings, what I was talking about. Live action sounds awesome, but super risky. Yeah, it would have been a less risk to do it animated, because animation, you have more things to do, more things you're unbounded by, Hey, live action Zelda. Yes, please. Yeah, man. I'm glad that I'm breaking news for you guys. And oh, yeah, live action. I don't know, man. I'm not even a huge Zelda fan, but I'm worried. I feel that. That's another thing. Are the non-Zelda fans going to come out? I mean, the Gran Turismo was shockingly good film. Yeah, it was really, really good. But with the strike still happening, when do we even see this? Well, the thing is, they said this is the beginning. So by the time this movie starts development, the strike should be over. Because this is not coming out till 2026, probably. This is they're just announcing it to get the investors involved, to get people hype. But we're not seeing this movie for a while, especially since it's going to be live action. It's going to take a long to film. They have to do a lot of pre-production. Nintendo takes their time. You see how long they could have announced this movie right after Mario made $1 billion, and like, oh, the next one's coming, but they're taking their time, and I think that's smart, and that's what's something that other companies, DC, Star Wars, Marvel, they need to take their time with their films, not rush things. I watched Coraline for the first time this weekend. I'm mad at myself for not watching it sooner. I watched that recently for my Throwback Thursdays. Really good movie. God of War will get me to pay attention for Amazon Prime. Yeah, man, that's big for Amazon Prime to get God of War. A little unfair to call Spider-Verse movies easy home runs because they weren't just successful. They're two of the most well-received animated movies of the last decade. They're both critical and fans. When I say home run, I'm not talking about the movie itself. Obviously, Spider-Verse was risky. There's still a lot of people that don't like animation, don't like the way it's animated. But when I say by that, I say if you're a producer on a Spider-Man project, I feel like it's easier to get that as a credit because Spider-Man's automatically going to bring in some people. You know, you can flop, you can fail like Mobius if you do it wrong, but people will go check it out and then hear the backlash as well. So I think if you have Spider-Man the character in something, it's easier to produce than if it's just original or if it's something that's more obscure like Legend of Zelda. Legend of Zelda is not as popular as Spider-Man, even though it sells crazy amount of copies. So that's what I meant. Chris Pratt as Link. No, don't do that. Timothy Chalamet should portray Link. Look, that's my boy. I love me some Timothy Chalamet. I think that he could do a great job. He has the elven look. They could make him look like Link. He is playing Wonka. He is in Dune, so he might have too many franchises under his belt already to take on another one. We've had some really good video game adaptations. We had some really good video game adaptations this year. That's really, really true. Wrestling question. What's your pick to dethrone Roman Reigns, Zach? My pick is Jey Uso, and it's been that since the beginning. I heard Five Nights at Freddy is a good game. I've heard that too. I've never played it, but you know, a lot of people love it. And the movie is doing really, really well. I'm about to start talking about that in my box office tracker, which I actually don't have opened up. I want Zelda to have a tone like the game. Big land adventure with goals and an RPG style. That's hard to do in 2.5 hours. Yeah, we're not going to be able to do that. It's going to have to be way more streamlined. But think about that. Look, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Skyward Sword, the original GBA games, they weren't this huge open world game. They were a lot more narrow than Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. So let's not think that the Zelda game has to be Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. They can go back to the basics and start with the older stories and then work their way up to that. See how people react to a Majora's Mask or a Minish Cap or something else like that, you know? So yeah, that's exciting news. I'm really, really super excited to check that out. And let me open up my next tab. I thought I had it open already, but this is going to be box office tracker. I'm big into box office. I think box office is really, really important to understand why our movies are doing bad or good. This is the weekend of November 3 through 5. And, you know, in the title I had, is Five Nights at Freddy's #1. So we're going to be talking about the box office now. Let me share it here. Still sharing Legend of Zelda. Share this tab instead. Let's talk about box office. So right now, the box office for 2023 has been all over the place. All over the place. Some weeks it was god awful. Some weeks have been fantastic. Obviously, we have Barbenheimer. We have Talk to Me that's done well. Mission Impossible 7. It didn't do as well as I think it should have did, but it still did well, conceivably. We've had other films gross a lot of money, but overall the box office has been rough for 2023. Five Nights at Freddy's has been a big win for the box office, and a lot of people was wondering how would it track afterwards. What's going to happen with the second weekend? That's really indicative if people are feeling attached to the film. And right now, Five Nights at Freddy's for this past weekend made 19 million. It dropped 76%, which is a huge drop. It's a huge drop. Usually movies want to drop anywhere from the 40 to 50 range. 76 is a lot. That means there's a couple things going on here because critics did not like this movie. It has very, very poor reviews on Rotten Tomatoes and across the board on a bunch of different sites like that. And a lot of reviewers on the internet as well, YouTubers that I know. People who love the game love this movie. It has high audience score. Cinema score is pretty high. I think it's like an A- or something like that. So that's pretty high. But the second weekend drop means that everyone that was a huge fan for the film went to go see it the first weekend. And that's fantastic because the movie only had a $20 million budget and it made $20 million this weekend. And so it made way more than the budget already. I think the box office total is already $113 million. So this is a win. What are the narratives here? So the first big narrative I have to say for Five Nights at Freddy's is that we're getting a sequel. We're absolutely positively getting a sequel to Five Nights at Freddy's. This movie's doing really well. Even if it drops another 76% next weekend, it's already made so much money. The fact that it's on Peacock and people still want to go to the theater, and then people are watching it on Peacock. So I'm going to be looking at those Nielsen charts to see if it climbs up the Nielsen charts for original movies. Is going to be very, very huge. Definitely going to get a sequel. Another thing that I think is a narrative for this film, the fact that it has this big drop, it has these critic reviews that are really pretty bad, and these, audience reviews have been great, but that's like very avid fans, but non-fans like me and some other people, like I liked the film, I thought it was okay, but there's some people that do not like this film. I think that they're going to have to try to bring back everyone, but maybe have a different writer. I think the director was really good. Give them even 20 more million. Let's give this a $40 million budget. Let's bring in another big name. I think that the fact they had Matthew Lillard was cool and he did a good job for the limited time he had. Bring in another Scream person. Maybe bring in Nev Campbell to poke at the Scream franchise, just to be a little meta narrative there. Let's do something fun with this to make it even bigger the next go around for not only fans but casual people like me and some of these critics who didn't like it. They have to do some creative changes to really make this movie pop the second time around, because if they just give us the same thing they did the first time at the same level, it may not do as well because the curiosity is already there. People who were curious and want to see it might have got burned and might not go back. But if we get bigger and better the second go around, I think that though we could bring those people back in. It could bring me back in. It could bring other people who didn't like the film back in, and we can push maybe the PG-13 rating a little further than they did. They got there a little bit with one scene, but it wasn't enough. Let's push that PG. If Venom, Let There Be Carnage can do it, Five Nights at Freddy can do it. But that's my opinion on the narratives that are facing this film and what this box office means. I think we're definitely getting a sequel. I think they're going to fast track it, but definitely have a creative team that can do a little better with it. Let's see what you guys have to say about Five Nights at Freddy's drop and what you think is going to happen going forward. Let's see what you guys got to say. Not surprised with Five Nights at Freddy's huge drop. Fan kids want to see it opening weekend, and that's it. Yeah, man. I never thought I was able to work on a popular movie. Wait, you worked on Five Nights at Freddy's? Do tell. What did you do on there? Scott, hold on. First of all, Scott, thank you for being in the live stream. I don't know if you've been subscribed to my channel for a while, but I haven't seen you comment or be in a live stream before. Welcome to the community. I hope you are a subscriber and you're gonna stick around. Appreciate you being here. Candid at the movies. I'm sure Five Nights will get a trilogy in the long run. I definitely think so. There's a lot of source material. There's a lot of lore. And that's the thing that was my problem with the film, is the fact that expand on the lore or explain it in a way that for me who never played the games can fully understand. And I kind of feel now, mixing up my words, I kind of know how people feel when things in the MCU are not super explained, or things in like the Mario movie, why critics didn't like that, because they just throw you in and they don't really give you context. If you know what Mario is, you appreciate it. If you don't, gotta get my water. They're on movies. I hated Five Nights at Freddy's, but I'm glad fans of the game enjoyed it. Maybe the sequel will be better for folks like me. That's what I'm talking about. That's what they got to work on. I hope they bring Hutcherson back. I agree as well. Piper, Rubio back as the siblings, because I thought they were both, Piper and Rubio back as siblings, because I thought they both did great for the Five Nights. I think they both did great for Five Nights sequel. That is, yeah. I hope they bring back Josh Hutcherson. I think that he was one of the best parts, if the best part of the movie. I think his little sister was great. Obviously, they're probably going to have to be a time jump because that little girl's probably going to grow up a bit. And I hope they bring back the cop too. I really like her from You, and I haven't really seen her in anything else, and I think she did a great job. Some people said she was like a discount Jennifer Lawrence. I could kind of see it, but I think she's good. There may be 2 other movies in the making. Ooh, we got somebody with some insider information. My guy Scott Cawthon. Is that how you say your last name? Is it Cawthon? Am I saying that wrong? Sorry. At least Five Nights at Freddy's made its money back. I'm really happy about it. Yeah, it made its money back and much, much more. Because if it's 20 million, they probably spent like 40 million on the advertisements, and they still, that's 60 million. They still made 113, and the run is not even over. And they probably got some Peacock subscribers. Ooh, Scott, aren't you the guy that got Corey X Henshin to be in the movie? Oh shoot. That's crazy. That was really good. I hope they do more of that in the sequel as well. Bring some more of the people who made the game popular during streaming to be in the movie. That's pretty cool. I think the next 2 movies are going to be huge. I think so too. I think that they can be really huge, but they really have to make sure they don't make the same mistakes over again. Really, really bring in the people who maybe didn't love it that much. Listen to some of the casual fans a little bit. Don't stray too far and scare off the hardcore fans, but also make it more accessible for people like me. Zach M, baby, talks movies. Five Nights at Freddy's drop doesn't surprise me. It's not a huge IP outside of the gamers, and a lot more people pirate more than we talk about, and they were given an HD rip thanks to Peacock. That is a huge, huge point. The fact that it even made 80 million in its first weekend when you can pirate it or watch it on Peacock is still huge. But yeah, the huge drop makes sense when it comes to, I think, a mixture of the quality of the film and then also the fact that people probably did pirate the film as well. Pirating is a huge, huge thing. A lot of people are going through the 7 C's, hardy har. I want the next to be only in theaters, not Peacock. I want more Matthew this time around. Yeah, I agree. I think that it was a great experiment, but don't do it again. I think that second movie, with how much potential it has, only theaters. Do not put it on Peacock. Wait, the couple months, then put it on Peacock after. Milk the franchise a little bit, So let's go on to the other narrative. The other narratives here was like, who would dethrone Five Nights at Freddy? Is it going to be any new movies? Is it going to be Killers of the Flower Moon? Is it going to be the Taylor Swift tours? We have some narratives to talk about with those. We had some indie movies that came out. Let's talk about them. The box office overall wasn't phenomenal, but coming at number 2 for the weekend is Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour. And the narrative around here, which is phenomenal, is the fact that Taylor Swift, the Eras Tour, was like posed to bring a lot of money in the first weekend. So a lot of people expected that this movie or this tour movie was going to bring a lot of people in that first weekend, but then it was going to drop off heavily as the weekends passed because they didn't think people were going to keep coming in and checking it out. But what I think has happened is that fans are coming in back to back to watch it over and over, and there's other people who maybe would have seen it because they want to be part of the experience coming in to watch it as well. And that's why it has strong holds. It only dropped, 11% on its third weekend. That is absolutely insane. That's really huge for that. And what I think the narrative here for that particular movie and what it means for the movie industry and the theater industry, because the theaters really need this. 1, Taylor Swift is probably one of the biggest stars of all time and one of the biggest stars in the world right now. That's a big one. A lot of people try to hate on her, but she has a rabid fan base, and a lot of people who love her are quiet about it and probably want to go see this movie. So that's one with the Taylor Swift movie doing so well. 2, Taylor Swift skipping the big companies, Warner Brothers, Netflix, Sony, Disney, and all these things, and going straight to the distributor, working with AMC specifically to get this movie around, I think did a really, 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 really great job at showcasing another way for people to do things. And I think that this may be the future of certain things, going straight to the theaters instead of going to the distributor to fund the films. That might change the game just a bit. And Taylor Swift is getting into the movie industry. She's been acting a little bit. She was in Amsterdam where she did a decent job. She's rumored to be in Deadpool 3 as Dazzler. And I think also that she directed a short film, which was pretty good. And I think she's going to be going on to direct a film in total. She directed this Eras tour, and I heard it was directed really well. And I think she's going to want to direct. She's a storyteller, and I think she's going to try to expand her career past that, right? So that's the big thing. What comes next when it comes to this is the fact that we're getting a Beyonce one, I think either this month or next month. I think it's either the end of November or the beginning of December. The thing with the Beyonce one, she's also a huge star. She's, to me, probably maybe on the same level as Taylor Swift. I don't know these days. I haven't been hearing much as the Beehive. Will the Beehive match the Swifties? Right now, Beyonce's movie is not projected to make as much, or maybe even nearly as much as Taylor Swift's movie right now, first weekend. But we'll see if it is of quality, if that cinematic quality that Taylor Swift one was. The word of mouth might get the Beehive to come out and go check it out. We may get to see more concerts in theaters and also comedy shows. I think there's a big chance for these things that are very expensive, if you only could catch on one night, for after the tour is starting to kind of be done, for them to put it in movie theaters and then go to streaming later. I think that's a huge, huge, huge thing that people should definitely do. How do you guys feel about Taylor Swift Eras Tour? Did you go check it out in theaters? And what do you think about the future of comedy and music movies being in theaters? Going to check it out there. If you already saw it live, going to check it out again. Or if you can't afford it live, going to the movie theaters to check it out. See what people got to say. He said, I watched, I'm also blank because I watched it twice on Peacock. I also watched it twice on Peacock. Let's see. I'm going to star your comment, Perp Minded, because I'm going to talk about that movie soon. I wonder if Beyonce movie tour will do the same thing in December. So it is December. Thank you, Dave Show. Right now it's not tracking, but it's possible. Okay, we're gonna be talking about that soon. Spoiler Kings. I'll get back to that. I think the director of Deadpool said that wasn't happening with Swift. From what I saw, it was the director of Deadpool said anything could happen, and I don't think he denied it. But if you see that, let me know. I will check it out, see what the hype's about. That's what Beyonce group is called, the Beehive. Yes, Toxic Gary. You didn't know that? You better stop before you get attacked by the Beehive. Andrew Garfield is in No Way Home. Zach M, you are a clown, but I love it. I wonder if all types of bands will do the same thing. I think it's a possibility. I think there's a big market out there to do that. I was thinking of seeing the Eras Tour, then I changed my mind. Hey, if you're a Swiftie, like I'm not a Swiftie, but I like Taylor Swift songs. I like a lot of her hits. So I thought about it, but I wasn't feeling well the weekend it came out. The Beehive will be out in force. How many others go see is the question. That's true. I think what helps with this is that not only did the Swifties go, but I think other people were curious what all the ruckus was. Is Beyonce a concert and behind the scenes? I think that is. It's a concert and behind the scenes. I think it's a similar setup to what the Taylor Swift. I don't know if it's going to be a cinematic. I don't know if it's going to be directed by Beyonce, but it's supposed to be like that. Hey, Popping and Popcorn, thank you for joining the live stream. I know you were doing a watch along, so I appreciate you being here. Could have named you 5 Taylor Swift songs. Perp Minded, you're not based. Oh, man. Let's see. Let's get to the more of these narratives. Let's talk about some of these smaller movies. Well, Killers of the Flower Moon is not a small movie; it's a huge movie. But Killers of the Flower Moon, the Martin Scorsese 3 hours and 30 minutes epic that was worth $200 million, and they partnered. Apple TV partnered with Paramount Pictures to put this out in theaters because it originally was set to go streaming with Apple TV exclusively. Martin Scorsese obviously did not want that to happen. He fought for this to go in theaters. It tested really well, and now it's in theaters right now. And it opened at 23 million. Not a huge opening for a $200 million film that stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, two of the greatest of all time, with one of the greatest directors of all time involved as well. But it dropped huge. Its second weekend, I think it was like 76% similar to Five Nights at Freddy's. But the problem was that Five Nights at Freddy's opened huge and also had a much less budget. It already made its money back when it opened, and then it dropped, and it still made more money when it dropped. The problem with Killers of the Flower Moon, it did not make anywhere close to its budget. It's 200 million without the advertisement, and it dropped 70 something percent. This weekend, it made 6 million, close to $7 million, only dropped 26, which is a more ideal hold. And this movie is now at 52 million gross, and I think it's at 100 million worldwide. So I think that Killers of the Flower Moon will be successful because Apple has talked about how they're not too big on the box office. All this is a plus for them. So that's the difference between talking about flops and a non-flop. When something doesn't do well, but people will say it's not a flop, because Killers of the Flower Moon was never meant to go to the theaters in the first place. It was meant to draw people to the Apple TV Plus brand. And now that it's in theaters, it feels like a prestige film. It's probably going to get some Oscar nominations. I think that this will help people go to Apple TV Plus, which is a phenomenal service, by the way, and subscribe to go check out this out, because more people are going to want to watch this long movie at home than watch it in theaters, which to me, I think will work more because of the repetitive nature of the story. You could kind of pause at certain moments and then come back and do things like, oh, sorry guys. The water, man, making me burp. And make it a more of an event, and you break it up. Kind of like people did with the Snyder Cut. So the movie is not doing as great as we would want for the talent behind it, but I still think that because of the special situation this is in, I think that is doing okay. It's doing okay. It might break even by its run before it gets to Apple TV Plus. So that was number 3. Coming at number 4. Let me know how you feel about Killers of the Flower Moon if you got to check it out. How you feel about the box office. Did you expect this? It's Priscilla, a movie that I reviewed on my channel. You can definitely check out my Killers of the Flower Moon review. You can check out my Five Nights at Freddy review. You can check out my Priscilla review. I have reviews for all this. I didn't get to see the Taylor Swift one, so I don't have reviews for that on my channel. But you can see my full thoughts on all those. Priscilla climbed from number 20 to number 4 with his wide release. This is an A24 film, my favorite studio. And, spoiler for my review, I think it's a great film. It's a hard watch. It made 5 million, which is not bad for the film. It's a total gross of 5,310,000, and it went up. it grew 3,000% because it didn't make that much on his short one. But I think that this is pretty good for the film. It's an awards contender. It doesn't need to make a whole bunch of money. I think that we have some Oscar-worthy things that's going to be going on in this film in terms of set design, costume, hair, makeup. I think Kaylee Spaney performance as Priscilla should get nominated for Best Actress. I think that she was transformative in the film. The guy who played Elvis, Jacob Elabori, I don't know how to say his last name properly, but the guy from Euphoria, Kissing Booth, I think he's a great actor. This was right in his wheelhouse. I think he did a great job as Elvis, as a more defamed Elvis, not this fantastical one that they did in the Elvis movie last year. But because Austin Butler did such a crazy job in the last one, I don't see another Elvis getting nominated. I think this movie is an awards play, is an Oscar bait film, and I don't think the box office matters that much. It obviously wanted to make some money, but I think it's going to end on a decent hold. The narratives here, I have to say, is that A24 hasn't had the huge runaway film this year like it had with Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think last year that was huge for it. And I think they thought Beau Was Afraid maybe might have did it because it's a weird movie. And that is one of my favorite movies of the year. I think it's number 2 for me. Love the film, but I think it was too weird. It wasn't as fun as Everything Everywhere All at Once, but a lot of the films have been doing okay. I think Talk to Me is the biggest film that they have. I think it's their highest grossing horror film of all time, but they didn't sweep the nation like Everything Everywhere All at Once did, and it's also not going to get any Oscar noms. I think they have had a lot of films coming on. They have a film coming out this year we're going to talk about that with Nicolas Cage, and I also don't think that's going to track too high as well. But yeah, that was Priscilla. What I want to talk about here at number 5 is Radical. That is huge because this is a foreign language film that didn't have a lot of what I want to say, press. It had only under 1,000 theaters, which is huge. You got to think about that. And it made $2 million. So a lot of people went to go see this film, and it's getting a really great buzz. It's getting like Oscar buzz out of nowhere, and that's pretty huge. The top 10 rounds out about some films that we've already saw. Exorcist Believer made $63 million overall. Had a 35% drop, which is not that bad. It's a movie that I like. A lot of people don't like. That's fine. The narrative here is they're gonna have to work on the creative team here and fixing some of the problems for the trilogy that this first one had. Paw Patrol still holding strong. Kids are going to watch this movie. 13 million home, made $62 million. Huge for a movie like that. That's probably didn't cost too much money. I know animation is expensive, but I don't think that Paw Patrol costs crazy amounts of money. And then we have like After Death, which made $2 million as well. What Happens Later, which is what I wanted to bring up. I starred Pert-minded film. Meg Ryan's movie What Happens Later was really solid. Too bad the marketing was pretty poor. Yes, I think that the writer's strike hurt this film a lot. I think if Meg Ryan, and I forgot who a co-star was able to go on talk shows and say, "Hey, it's my return to romantic comedy," I think more people would have came out and see it. I think a lot of people just didn't know. Spoiler Kings, he said Kills the Flower Moon was going to dethrone Five Nights at Freddy's. Swifties are coming back for more and more. Yeah, it definitely wasn't. It ended up number 3. So it did not dethrone nothing. And then a film that kind of came out of nowhere and is getting trash is Freelance with John Cena. And yeah, it did okay. 1 million. I don't know what the budget was. Total gross is 4 million. Yeah, it did okay. It went from 8 to 10. This movie is DOA kind of. The reviews are terrible. It has 0% from the last time I checked on Rotten Tomatoes. I feel bad for John Cena because he's such a great actor. But yeah, this was not it. And then the rest of the rest of the thing is just a bunch of films that have been out for a long time. The re-release of Night before Christmas and everything like that. So what I want to talk about overall for the box office before I get to the comments is the fact that it's not healthy. The box office is not healthy. There was a time where every single movie in the box office top 10 would at least make 10 million. We have not gotten that much this year. There was a time around Barbenheimer where everything was making 10 million above. Everybody's like, whoa, it's back. And then shortly after that, it went downhill. I think Barbenheimer got people to come and get festive and want to go to the movies. We haven't had anything like that since then. They tried to do Saw Patrol, did not work. And I think that the writer's strike is really hurting people advertising smaller films, and that's what's hurting the box office. A lot of these movies I feel like could have made more money if the writers, not the writers, I said writer's strike, the actor's strike, that the actors could have been on these shows, Fallon and all these other different shows talking about this, doing different interviews on YouTube and different things like that. It's not enough for the directors. People want to see the actors. So that is it for my box office breakdown, guys. Let me know what you liked about it. If there's any more information like this show, this weekly show will grow. It will change. This is for the community. Let me know what information you guys want to know. If I need to add some things to it and everything like that. And I have something here I want to show you guys. Something that I just made today. Zach Attack News Live at Gmail. This email is specifically so if you want to email me news topics that you want me to talk about weekly, and anything that you heard about that's huge, something that you think I might have missed, email it here. I will check it out. I will check it daily and add it to my docket to talk about, so we can discuss it on the next live show. Next Tuesday at 7 p.m. is when I'll go live. If there's any changes, obviously I'll let you guys know on Twitter and on my community tab. But Zach Attack News Live at Gmail is where you can send me any links, any articles, any information. If you have any scoops, you can send it to me and let me know. Take a picture, write it down, and send me any information. Now, let's see what the comments have to say before I get to my last topic of the day, and then we'll do a free-flowing Q&A for the last 10 to 15 minutes, depending on how many questions, 20 minutes. Never mind. I thought he was being the group. Oh, no, not BTS. The group. That's funny. Stand-up comedy movie used to be a fairly regular thing. I can see it coming back, but I also see it not happening because Netflix throws money at comedians left and right. That is huge. What I can see to that point on Dell, because Netflix is trying to get into the theatrical business and they're buying theaters soon, I can see them putting those movies on in theaters, letting it run for a little bit, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe even 3, and then put it on Netflix later. They've been doing it with certain movies. Glass Onion was in the theaters. I think Roma was in theaters. There's a couple movies that they've had that's been in theaters. So they could put their comedy shows in theaters. It gets make some money. Might not have to advertise it too much, and then put it on Netflix later. And now it's this big thing that was on. Everybody's talking about that was in theaters, and people are going to want to stream it. So I think that that's something they could definitely do. And then some of these comedians can take the Taylor Swift route, skip Netflix, and go straight to AMC, Regal, or a small chain. I'm gonna head out now. Zach, great stream as always. See you on the next one. See you on the next one, man. Thank you. Zach Attack, other walls are all Taylor Swift. Other walls? Not sure what you meant. Kills the Flower Moon is more marketing than anything for Apple. Yeah, that's true. Killers was always supposed to be in theaters. Paramount was the first studio. Apple came in and saved it production costs. Okay. From the article I read, I heard the other way around, that Apple partnered with Paramount. I didn't hear Paramount was on it first. Because when I first heard about the movie was last year, and it always had Apple logo on it. It did not have Paramount logo. And then it went through the festivals, and then I heard that they paired with Paramount. But I got to double check. Maybe check my sources, you know? That's like saying Napoleon Argyle was supposed to be streaming too. Apple is spending a $1 billion a year on theatrical release for the next couple of years. Well, that's very, very different. It's a movie case by case. Just because one thing was for Killers of the Flower Moon doesn't mean it's for Napoleon. Daisy really should get an award for her performance in her role in March King. Wow, she was really that good in March King? I was really excited for that movie. I want to go check it out still. I still to see her after death. I enjoyed Sound of Freedom. Okay. One of the first people I see say something positive about that film. Nick Cage is killing it this year. Yeah, he has a lot of movies, a lot of decent movies. Like in the new format. Thank you. I appreciate it. This guy is killing it. Thank you, Kenny. I appreciate that. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure you like the stream, guys. In the streaming age, we might have to adjust box office expectations. Lots of folks have no reason to go to the theater for a movie they're not super excited for because it'll be streaming soon. Yeah. And I see streaming going away because of that. It's getting inflated. It's getting too expensive. Netflix is increasing their prices even more. It's getting kind of ridiculous. And I see it getting blown up. A lot of these streaming services starting to combine, and a lot of times people are going to have to go back to theaters and go check things out. So we're going to move on to, do I have this open already? No, I do not. Of course I don't. What is this, November? We're going to talk about the November releases that are coming out. We talked about the box office this past weekend. And why is Google doing this right now? November 2023. My favorite website to use. You guys have seen this before when I used to do my releases for each week. So if you guys were there for that, you guys definitely know. I'm going to be talking about I'm going to do week to week basis. So this is going to be talking about what's coming out this week, what you can check out, and what's exciting to coming out, what I'm anticipating, some things that you might not even know of. So let me drink some water before I cough again. My throat. Like an advertisement. So, coming out this week, Wednesday, which is tomorrow, on Netflix, is Wing Woman. A movie I heard about. I think it says, tired of life on the run, two expert thieves and best friends recruit feisty Sam to assist them with one last job, unlike anything they've done before. I've heard some really good buzz about this film, Wing Woman. I think it's a foreign French film, not 100% sure, but I heard really, really great things about it, and I think I'm going to definitely check it out. That's an action comedy that you guys may be able to check out on Netflix at the comfort of your own home. Obviously, Terrifier 2 is re-releasing in theaters, so you can check that out in theaters, but they're going to have a teaser for Terrifier 3 in front of it or after it. I'm not 100% sure. I know Perp Minded went to go check it out already, so he might know. So if you are a Terrifier fan, you can definitely check it out tomorrow. Buy tickets on a re-release and definitely check those out. But coming out for this, oh wait, no, this is see, I messed it up. This is last week. There will be some hiccups. So that was last week, guys. Not this week. I apologize. So all that came out last week. What I'm supposed to be doing is this week. So coming out this Wednesday is Cyberbunker, the criminal underworld. Two worlds collide in an idealistic German tourist town. A group of mysterious Dutchmen and their eccentric leader, I don't know how to say that name, want to take over a vast NATO bunker under the town. The name that I cannot pronounce promises the village a prosperous future, but doubts spread among the residents. As an underworld manifests itself beneath the streets of the quaint town, its people puzzle over the person's true intentions. It's a documentary. That sounds insane. That sounds like a real, like, actual movie. But that's something that's actually coming out. Sounds interesting. Coming out this Friday. So we have a lot of different things that's coming out this Friday. That's exciting. Obviously, the big one is the Marvels, which I have my tickets for. I'm excited to go see. I'm really, really hugely excited for this because I love Kamala Khan in the comics. I love her interactions with Captain Marvel in the comics. I'm a fan of the Captain Marvel movie. And I know that they have kind of misused her a little bit in the MCU. She probably should have had a second movie before this. This should have been her Captain America Civil War instead of her second film. They should have had her Winter Soldier before they did this. But nonetheless, we're getting the Marvels first. And every trailer I've seen, it looks better and better. I think the final trailer was maybe a bit too much, but I'm still super excited to see what we have here. It looks like a lot of fun. It looks very, very unique and different from anything that we've gotten in the MCU before, and I'm really excited for the Marvels. Who is excited for the Marvels? Let me know. And while I wait for that, The Holdovers by Paul Giamatti, well, not by Paul Giamatti, but starring Paul Giamatti, is a movie that I've heard so much. He's a university dislike teacher at a prep school called Barlin Academy. So what I'll do here with this film is I'm going to watch a trailer. I don't know if you guys have all seen this, but this is The Holdovers. So I'm super excited for this.
You just earned yourself a detention, sir. He with you is already one big detention. Son of a...
This is a really solid comedy and drama.
That's glaringly apparent.
I can't fail this class.
Oh, don't sell yourself short, Mr. Coates. I truly believe that you can.
Every year at Barton Academy, students, faculty, and staff depart the campus for a 2-week winter break. But there are always an unfortunate few who have nowhere to go for the holidays. They're known as the Holdovers.
Mr. Hunnam.
Hello, Mary.
I had you guys stuck with babysitting duty this year. How'd you manage that?
You know, he used to be a student, right? Yeah, that's why he knows how to inflict maximum pain on us.
I thought all the Nazis were hiding in Argentina.
Stifle it, Tully.
You just earned yourself a detention, sir. He here with you is already one big detention. Son of a bitch, that's another detention.
Do you think I want to be babysitting you? No, I was praying your mother would pick up the phone or your father would arrive in a helicopter or a flying saucer. Your father's dead.
Ooh.
You don't tell a boy
damage
that's been left behind at Christmas that nobody wants him? What's wrong with you?
There's nobody here, okay? You stay out of my way, and I'll stay out of yours.
Transition to the deeper part.
Now, most of the kids dislike you, pretty much hate you. Teachers, too. You know that, right? I find the world a bitter and complicated place, and it seems to feel the same way about me. I think you and I have this in common. I don't think I've ever had a real family Christmas like this before. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
History is not simply the study of the past, it is an explanation of the present.
See, when you say it that way and throw in some pornography, it's a lot easier to understand.
What does Timothy Chalamet look like?
I'd like to propose a toast to my two unlikely companions.
Are you trying to lick down my shirt?
No. Yes. You're going to get me fired. This is your Rubicon. Do not cross the Rubicon.
The Holdovers.
Focus Features. Focus Features is definitely a great company that produces some really solid films people don't talk about. I gotta say, that was really, really strong. That looks real fun. It feels so old school in an approach. I really like this trailer. It feels like Ferris Bueller. It feels like these old coming-of-age stories combined with a story like an old grumpy guy that has to learn a lesson about humanity and combining it together with this old school flavor on it. I really, really like this. I definitely am going to check this out eventually. Hopefully, maybe get to check it out this weekend because I'm seeing the Marvel's Friday. It's going to be hard. I want to see this. And there's another film that's coming out this Friday that I want to check that out. Trailer was amazing. Before I move on, let's see. Zach M is excited for the Marvels. I'm really excited that you are. I know you've been kind of wavering on the MCU a little bit with project to project, but I'm excited for this, man. Oh, that's super sad. I'm not getting Wonderful Knife in my theaters. Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. I'm excited for the Marvels. Got to head out and prep for my own stream. Good night. Thank you for joining, Dell. You've been you made the stream really great. You communicated really well, and you really made this fun. I appreciate you. I'm excited for the Holdovers. Yeah, I'm excited now. I never watched the trailer. I've heard about the movie. I heard that it was really great, and the premise sounded good. But watching the trailer made me excited for this. I'm also excited for the Marvels. Yeah, man. The Holdover is going to be one of the best of the year. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. It's one of the best of the year. Love that trailer. It's so old school. Yeah, it feels like one of those old school movies we used to watch when we were younger, man. So that was my reaction to the Holdovers. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it and all that good stuff, and check out the content and join the Zach Attack Nation. We're going to move on to the next movie that's coming out this week. If you're watching live, stay tuned. If you are watching afterwards, check out my other videos. So we also have Journey to Bethlehem. I've kind of heard about this film before. I think it's one of those faith-based films. It follows Mary and Joseph's life where they journey to Bethlehem for the birth of Jesus. It's just drama, musical, it's faith-based as it says. If that is your kind of film, Antonio Banderas is starring in it. And I don't know anybody else, but if those are your kind of films that you love, go check it out. There's something in the theaters for you now. It's a Wonderful Knife. This is another film that I have heard about. I'm going to do a trailer reaction right now live with you guys because I haven't seen a trailer. I saw somebody do a review. I hear Justin Long and Joel McHale's in it. I'm down. Let's check it out. So this is going to be my reaction to It's a Wonderful Knife. And I just realized I did not have this up here for you guys to see because I'm a silly Willy Billy and I'm going to have technical issues. Let's see what this is about. It's a Wonderful Knife.
Angel Falls, I give you...
Oh, God.
Christmas!
The lights are so
Oh, Shutter. Okay.
This is perfect.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, what did you eat?
Oh. Whoa.
Please wake up. Waters.
Whoa.
Last Christmas still haunts me.
Time to let that go.
No one cares. Everyone would be better off if I was never born.
Oh.
Did you see that? Did the power go out? Oh my God. I stood under the aurora and said everyone would be better off if I never existed. Well, wish granted.
Angel strikes every couple of weeks.
How can that be?
Do I know you?
It's Winnie. You know that.
Okay. This her?
Hi, I'm Henry Waters. You're safe now. He's not gonna get you.
No one in this town knows me.
Who are you?
Dad. You weren't around to stop him, so he just kept going. He likes killing.
I'm here now. Let's have some fun. Hey, you!
Hey, Merry Christmas. We gotta stop him. And get my life back.
You'll be safe now.
Ooh, that looks very, very good. Wow. I did not expect that. I didn't know anything about this film. I just kept hearing about it. It looks pretty, like it was pretty cool. That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. We just got Totally Killer early this year. Not early this year, it was just a couple months ago. With time travel slasher film. Now we're getting this Christmas one. We're also getting Thanksgiving. So that's really, really cool. Scream was really great this year. So we're getting some really good slashers. And we're going to have a conversation how horror is holding it down in terms of quality. We're getting some unique stories in them, and there's some new horror directors that's coming out. Freaky Art was really great and had a similar presence, and I think there's a unique premise, not presence. Let me see what you guys have to say. Are you guys excited for A Wonderful Knife? Let's see. Hey, Jason Entertainment, thank you for joining the live stream, man. How you doing? Is this the first Alexander Payne and Paul Giamatti have teamed up since Sideways? Well, I never saw Sideways, so I have no idea. I have to watch that Holdovers trailer. I'm hearing good buzz about it. Yeah, I just watched it, man. Just right before you came in. It looks really, really good. Marvels and Hunger Games are gonna go head to head this month. Yeah, it is. It's like a week after. I'm gonna have to go to Regal to see this. Yep, I'm going to Regal to see this. The trailer won you over. Nice. Let's see. What else is there to highlight for this week? So we have A Wonderful Knife, The Holdovers, Journey to Bethlehem, The Marvels. We also have Your Lucky Day, which I kind of heard of too. It says a dispute over winning a lottery ticket turns into a deadly hostage situation. This has Jason O'Mara, who I've seen in different things, Angus Cloud, who I've seen in different things, Jason Wiles, who I've seen in different things. You know what? Let's check this out as well. I'm not going to watch all the trailers that's here because we have a lot of movies coming out this week. So I want to get through them, but this actually sounds pretty interesting. So this is my trailer reaction to Your Lucky Day. Keep the comments coming in and I'll come to you guys. Let's see what this is about.
This is America. America don't care how you get your money.
No, it does not. $156 million. Oh, Angus Cloud. Oh my God. Is this the last
thinking
movie
about that old question?
You did before you passed away?
What would you do if you had $1 million?
Wow. You're a winner.
$156 million. Wow!
Uh-oh.
Yo, give me that ticket over there.
156 million. Give me that ticket right now.
Take it. Police!
Oh.
Hey! That's what we're gonna do. Turn off the lights.
Oh my God.
156 million. What's your plan?
I'm not gonna hold you hostage. This secret got a price tag.
This could be our chance at a better life.
What about the bodies?
This is wrong.
Nobody ever got rich without doing no crimes.
That's true.
What was that? They don't arrest cop killers, they execute them.
Give us the ticket. We'll let you walk away.
What do you want us to do?
Wow.
I need you to realize the situation you're in here. The winner always tells the story.
Back away, or I will burn this ticket.
Wow.
You got the power now. What you want to do about it?
I am kind of shocked. I didn't think that was going to look that good. That actually looked pretty good. I'm not even going to lie. I don't know if I'm going to go see it in the theaters. I don't know about that, especially with all these different things coming out. I think that that's going to be hard for me to go check that out in the theaters. But once it comes to PVOD, I may rent that and give it a little bit of money. It looks really interesting. Anybody thinks that looks good? It's called Your Lucky Day. I think that looks like a great film. It looks like a mixture of Panic Room and Purge and Your Next. It has that kind of feel mixed with some social commentary. I think that it could be pretty good. And it's sad to see that Agnes Cloud, this is probably his last film that he's in. I'm not too sure if he was in anything else. Jason Entertainment, I'm going to start this comment about ranking November films. I'm going to answer that at the end. Let's move on to the next one. We have a what's it called? A Thanksgiving film, The Great Turkey Town Miracle. A widowed morning drive DJ Connor McLeod radio station has been sold, and there's no longer a need for morning drive DJ, so he is let go. With 2 daughters in high school, Connor must start looking for new employment immediately. With good jobs few and far between, especially for a middle-aged DJ, he meets Ethan, a believing homeless man who encourages him after many failed jobs interviews. Miraculously, the House of Hope, a busy home. Wait, hold on. This is a lot of information in here that I feel like didn't connect. Believing homeless man who encouraged him, and after many failed job interviews, miraculously, the House of Hope, a busy homeless shelter, hires Connor to their procurement director. His first assignment to obtain 4,000 frozen turkeys for needy families on Thanksgiving Day, just 1 month away. One thing is certain, he will require the medical to pull this off. Okay, that sounds like a nice sit down at your house film to watch during Thanksgiving. Not too bad. Not something I'm gonna rush to watch. We have Kane, explores the story of Benny, caught in a gang war between crime boss and a rival leader. He questions his loyalty and potential betrayal. Now, this is a big one for me. I'm definitely going to do a trailer reaction for this. This is Dream Scenario with Nick Cage, baby. And I'm excited to check this out. I don't know if you guys have seen the trailer for this, but this looks absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Why does the zebra look the way it does?
So embarrassing.
Hey, focus.
Is this how it went?
No, it's different now. Oh, you've been on my mind recently.
Yeah?
Because you keep popping up in my dreams. You don't do anything, you're just there.
So, this specific person, the remarkable nobody, I've also got that experience. Do you have a picture?
Have you been dreaming about me?
Have I been dreaming about you?
Yeah. There's like 100 messages. Somebody wants to interview me.
This is strange. Maybe you should take a minute and think before you do anything drastic.
Why me? I don't know. I'm special, I guess.
How does it feel to go viral?
Who's actually had a dream about me?
You're scaring me, but I'm going to have nightmares.
I wish I was the one people were dreaming about.
Me too.
Yeah, no, it's something.
How's he dealing with all this?
We're not even the type of people that like attention, you know? Do you think other people are seeing you naked?
Maybe thousands.
I hope I'm behaving through your dreams.
Oh, no, you're not.
So I'm finally cool, huh?
I didn't say that.
You hear that, Janet? She's saying I'm a cool dad.
I really feel like you're playing with fire here.
Dad, please help me!
I'm not actually doing anything to them.
You know, fame can come with some less desirable side effects. You should be prepared for that.
Maybe we should cool this thing off.
What? What do you mean?
It's embarrassing.
Which part?
I guess I'll Guess I'll see you in my dreams.
Yeah. Of course not.
Yeah, I've been anticipating this film for a long time. It looks so good. It's coming out this weekend. I can't believe it's coming. Why it had to come out during the Marvels. I wish it came out last week. I would have watched it instead of Priscilla. Even though I really like Priscilla and I wanted to see it, but it's just gonna be hard to see multiple movies at the same time. But yeah, this looks real good. This looks amazing. I saw a review for it, an early review for it, and based on what that person was saying, I'm forgetting the channel name, but I'm subbed to them. It looks really good. Yeah. Anybody excited for Dream Scenario? Coming up, also another movie I'm excited for is The Killer, a movie that's had a lot of buzz coming out. A new David Fincher film starring Michael Fassbender about a assassin who missed. It says after a fateful near miss, an assassin battles his employers and himself on an international manhunt he insists isn't personal. It's very not detailed one, but based on the reviews I'm hearing, based on the buzz that I'm hearing, I heard this movie is really great and has a very interesting look at the whole assassin older man topic that we usually get a lot since John Wick, or actually since Taken. I want to give Liam Neeson his credit for starting that trend again. So I'm excited for Michael Fassbender. I think he's a wonderful actor. I know Next Goal Wins is not really getting a lot of buzz. Maybe it might, when it actually releases, more people will be like into it. But The Killer looks like it's gonna be a hit for Netflix. We got Rumble Through the Dark, which is about a cage fighter who seeks to repay his debts to a local mob in a final desperate attempt to salvage his family home, which sounds interesting. That's not going to be in theaters. That'll be on VOD and digital. Another VOD and digital film is Out of the Darkness, follows the Skull family from spring 1943 to summer 1945. When Denmark becomes free again, the Skull family is divided. Askell, who joined the resistance movement, has gone underground and evolves from an idealistic amateur to a hardcore partisan. So that sounds interesting. It plays the field, a veteran Geo lonely life is shaken when he receives the ashes of his fallen soldier friend and a final request to go on a road trip to bury them. Oh, that sounds interesting. Geo and his pal Herbert set out for California, but car trouble and Geo's battlefield flashbacks slow their roll. Can Geo find the courage to confront his demons and fill the promise to his long lost comrade? Sounds really, really interesting. So yeah, we have Walden. What is about Walden Dean, who's a stenographer? I don't know how to say that word. I ain't gonna lie. In a small southern town whose mind has witnessed all types of injustice in courtroom. After discovering he has a terminal illness, the repressed anger deep with him surfaces, taking justice in his own hand in the most gruesome way imaginable. Sounds interesting. Wow. I've never seen anything like that before in terms of that profession and coming over to that. We have There's Something to Barn In. We have Curse, which is a series that is with Emma Stone and Benny Safdie. Heard it's going to be really good. Going to be on Paramount Plus. Manodrome, which I've heard a little bit about. It has Jesse Eisenberg in it, Adrian Brody, Odessa Young. A young man is conflicted about pregnancy of his girlfriend as he struggles to find his place in society. Sounds interesting. A lot of movies coming out. Best Birthday Ever, Dirty South, Showdown of the Grand, Cher. Which is about a man that awakens alone, stripped of all his possessions, trapped in a bare room, aided solely by a primitive computer. He fights to survive in a new existence where entertainment is the only currency and discover who imprisoned him, why, and if there's any possibility of escape. Wow, that sounds interesting. And then lastly, coming out is convicted arsonist Sam Wanowski is the middle of hosting his own conspiracy podcast, The Naked Umbrella. When his trailer home explodes and burns to the ground, convinced he's been set up, Sam hits the road with his wife, Irene, another road trip movie, to clear his name. Now off his meds and with his parole officer hot on his tail, Sam's psychosis returns as he traverses his relationship with reality and his eternal love for his wife. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of plot twists. There's a lot going on. Sounds interesting. It's going to be on VOD and digital. It's called Adventures of the Naked Umbrella. Wow. That's a lot. But yeah, those are the releases that are coming out for this Friday that's coming up. A lot of stuff, some stuff on streaming. We got a big blockbuster. We got some Oscar films. We got some smaller films that are going to be able to rent. So no matter what you want to do, if you don't have streaming, you have films you can watch in theaters. You have films to watch on digital if you don't have streaming, and if you do have streaming, you can watch things on Paramount Plus and Netflix because they're releasing stuff as well. So we have a lot of things to check out, a lot of interesting things. Let's see what the chat is saying. Now that I have gone through all the topics, I'll be on for another 10 minutes. You can ask me anything. You can ask me anything about the topics that we talked about today, or you can ask me anything about me personally, or anything about movies, television, anything like that. So I know Jason Entertainment asked me a question. I pinned it. It says, can you rank anticipated November releases? The Marvels, Hunger Games, Wonderful Knife, Next Goal Wins, Thanksgiving, Leo, Wish, Napoleon, and Good Burger 2. And yes, Jason Entertainment, I can definitely do that. So if I was going to rank this, I would rank the Marvels as number 1 because it's a Marvel film. It's characters that I love. I think it looks really, really interesting. It looks really, really fun. I'm super excited to check out the Marvels. After that, I would say Napoleon. Napoleon looks amazing. I'm a big Joaquin Phoenix fan. Ridley Scott is a legendary director. Vanessa Kirby's in it. The action looks great, and it has a lot of historical context that I don't know about. I know that people have been complaining that it's not historically accurate, and just like Ridley Scott said, go get a life. That's what he said. So, if that's what he feels, I got my life together. I'm going to go check it out and just enjoy it. After Napoleon, I guess I would say I'm anticipating Next Goal Wins. I know that there's a lot of bad press for this movie, but the trailers look really, really fun. I think this is a unique story, like Champions early this year, that I really, really enjoyed. I'm really excited for this. And I don't think I've ever seen a Taika film in theaters other than Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder. So I'm excited to see a non-MCU film from Taika in theaters. After Next Goal Wins will probably be A Wonderful Knife. It wasn't something that was high on my list, but after watching the trailer, it looks like a lot of fun. So I'm super excited to check that out. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to see it because it's also coming out this weekend, and it's a lot coming out this weekend. But it also does, even though it looks great, it does look like it also could be a streaming film, and I feel like it should have came more out during Halloween. Other than that, I will say Thanksgiving. I think Thanksgiving looks pretty good. Actually, before Thanksgiving, Wish. I really want to support this movie. It looks really cute. Has a black lead, and we don't really get that. And hopefully she doesn't change into an animal in this film, because a lot of happens in a lot of animated films. The black lead turns into an animal. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and we get a black princess in a beautiful animated film with a good story. I'm excited to check that out and support that film. Hopefully it's really good and lives up to the hype. And then after that, I would say Thanksgiving. Looks brutal, looks fun. Nice little horror film during the Thanksgiving season. We don't really get a lot of those. And then I guess I'll say Good Burgers 2. I'm not excited for that film at all, but I don't know what Leo is. I never heard of that film before. So since I know what Good Burgers 2 is, I'll put that, and then I'll put Leo after. This Nick Cage movie looks insane. Okay, so yeah, I can't wait for it. Yeah, it looks super insane. It's coming out it's very, very soon. I'm really excited for it. This Friday. Hopefully, maybe I might get to see it late Saturday night. We'll see. I hope my theater gets this. Which movie are you talking about you want to get it? Is it A Wonderful Knife? My top horror movie list is going to be fun. Yeah, it's going to be a fun doing them horror. I have a couple horror movies that I still need to see to really round out my list. I'm going to catch up on, but yeah, this list is going to be really fun. We haven't had like, I guess Talk to Me is like a high up there horror film, but we haven't had a lot of high up there horror films. We had a lot of really good, maybe great, but really good horror films. So yeah. Hey, Lawrence Report. Thank you for joining the live stream. Appreciate you being here. I hope that you're a subscriber. You're part of the Zach Attack Nation. If you're not, either way, thank you for joining the live stream. I hope that you do check it out, support it in theaters, and see it. These movies look really interesting. Update. No, they don't. I guess I will wait till streaming for this new Nick Cage film. Damn, you talking about Dream Scenario? That sucks. A24, man, get these movies out more. I understand that they're small and they might not, but maybe it might open up bigger the following weeks. You might get it after. So keep on the lookout. It might update the day of. Because I know sometimes that happens. you might have to wait for the day off. But guys, that looks like that's it. There's no more comments coming in, and I'm not gonna make the live stream go longer just cause this was a lot of fun. This is the inaugural, the first edition, the first of many Zach Attack live streams or Zach Attack News live streams. I'm looking to be doing this every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Like I said before, if you have any news stories that you want me to talk about, break down, look into, Zach Attack News Live at Gmail is where you can send it to me. If you don't want to email it to me and you want to go direct to the source, you can contact me on Twitter. Is Zach Attack RVS on Twitter. You can DM me news stories and things like that. Don't DM me nothing weird, I'll block you. And just send those news stories there. If you've been watching live, I really appreciate you being in a live stream and making this fun. This show is only great, as Zach M says on his show. I don't want to copy exactly what he says, but as Zach M says on the show, this show is great because you guys are here and making it really fun. I was really nervous about this, and I think this was a really great first show. It will evolve, it will change, it will grow, but I think we have a solid format here, and you guys will let me know in the comments below what more information you want. If you want me more deep dives in the box office, deep dives in certain stories, deep dive in what's coming out, and maybe be more selective and pre-look for it for you guys. Drop all those comments in the comments of this video, and I want to thank everyone for being here. Like I always say, like the video, get YouTube know that you like this video, get this video popping, attack that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you notify my reviews, my live discussions, my trailer reactions, and everything that's coming soon. I have a Movies That Made Us live stream coming soon with one of the movie tubers. I'm really excited to get that done because I'm really excited to get to talk to him or her and get that done and really have fun with that. But other than that, I think we're done here. I want to say everyone a good night, and let me hit my outro. Peace out, guys.